What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Planet X's Pluto. Now, this is a third-party rendition of Transformers Fall of Cybertron Megatron. The figure comes with a sword, his fusion cannon, an instruction booklet, a collector card with stats on the back, and some fill-in pieces, specifically for parts on the figure that I will point out throughout the review. They're pretty much screw holes. Before we get into the review proper, I would like to show off the directions, simply because they're kind of hard to read. Unless you're in incredibly bright light, like I have here underneath my, review area, it's very difficult to see these directions and make out different details. They're pulling a Hasbro. You pretty much have gray on gray with bright red, and it's not easy, especially with for an old man with bad eyes. From top to bottom, from forward to back, Pluto is a very cool looking bot. However, he is also a very spiky and pointy bot. I have actually caused myself to bleed a couple of times by pushing too hard in certain places, specifically those spines on the back and the shoulder spikes. It's a very, very neat looking figure, but also deadly if you have very, very sensitive skin. Height-wise, the figure scales between a current generation Voyager and a current generation Leader class. The figure's fusion cannon is really nice looking. I love the paint and the detailing on it. It even has an extending cannon barrel, which I like a lot. That's specifically for the vehicle mode, but in the game I remember the cannon barrel sliding back and forth. The sword is also very nice. I like the sword quite a bit. However, the actual handle for the sword is just a smidge too big for the hands to actually hold very well. So getting it into the grooves that are inside the fists of the figure is very, very problematic. And I also have a tendency to drop it because I poke myself so many dang times. Here also in robot mode, the chest doesn't stay pegged in. You could flip the chest up and over his head, revealing some really pretty artwork and some texture mapping going on there, and what looks to be in like an evil matrix, but the chest doesn't stay pegged down, and it really, really should. Pluto has a great range of poseability, joints everywhere where there should be. All of them are ratchet joints. However, the joints are not strong enough to hold the figure up a lot of the times. So when you go to put him in a pose, he just has a tendency to collapse. Except for the knees. The knees are very, very tight. The hips, the shoulders, the torso, and the joints holding parts together for the transformation, none of them are that tight though. So they have a tendency to just flop about sometimes when you're posing it. And, as I said, he falls over. The figure also has an abundance of screw holes in odd places, and I think that just has to do with the way the figure was produced. The shoulders are nearly exactly the same as far as I could tell. So you have these 3 screw holes here, you've got screw holes on the inside of the arms, and different spots on the legs and around the body. So that's what these filler caps are for. I just didn't feel like hunting down every single one of them for the review. I wanted you guys to see the figure as is out of the box, but it is good to know that they did bother to ship these. To say I dislike the transformation of this figure that's being nice. I don't find transforming this figure to be fun in the least bit, but I can't argue with the result. We end up with what is pretty much just an awesome evil hover tank. I really like the look of this alt mode. I think it's really neat. That is until you add the sword, which can be pegged in this little peg hole in the bottom, and you can have the sword just sticking out of the front like that, and just leave it off to the side. Getting this thing transformed, as you saw, is not an easy feat. It's also very, very sharp in so many places. I keep saying that, but it's true. This figure is a pointy nightmare. I feel like I could pop a balloon on these back spurs. And these front spikes are also sharp. And wear gloves, like Kevlar gloves, if you pick this thing up. Again, I don't care for the transformation at all. I think it's overwrought, fiddly, and just annoying. Yeah, you'll get it down after a couple of times, but it's not fun. Overall, Pluto looks really good, but I don't think the execution by Planet X is very good at all. All of the ratchets feel super loose. There's a lot of covering up of that manufacturer work, and it doesn't hold together the best. So for the cost, you're not getting a great figure. You're getting a pointy, disappointing Megatron that doesn't hold a candle to a lot of other third-party figures. Yes, this is the only War for Cybertron or Fall for Cybertron Megatron that I know of outside of the official Hasbro releases, but I can't help feeling that there are better figures out there or coming down the pipe. Thank you so much for watching this video review. As always, I am Baltmatrix. Please let me know what you think down in the comments, like, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.